level of thinking is actually what leads to breakthrough, right? If you don't break through, if you don't come up, if you don't strengthen your own self, if you don't strengthen your thinking, your emotions, then you're likely to take steps or not take any at all, and then come up with a story of, oh, I tried this, it didn't work. I tried that, it didn't work. They didn't help me. Right? All of the things we hear, the excuses, right? It's the government. It's this. It's the buyer. It's the vendor. It's my employer. It's the boss. That's the narrative of people who haven't embraced the concept I'm teaching today. This is what stops people. As long as you think other people are responsible for removing the barriers that you face, then you actually leave your future in their hands. Okay? You leave, and guess what happens? People will take you wherever they want to take you. And now you have no choice. So that's something to watch out for, is that generally speaking, those who procrastinate will have more anxiety in their life, right? Because again, lack of control. Whenever you feel that you cannot control outcomes, then you'll be anxious because now you can't control. But those who take action, the more action you learn how to take in life, you will move forward in spite of whatever you feel is in your way, because you are taking responsibility. And one of the things I've also seen is that breakthrough happens because you performed, right, repetitive action. Like, walls come down the more you break it, right? So if you encounter a wall, right, our job is not to say there's a wall, which is what the right people get into. There's a wall, there's a barrier, there's a barrier, there's a barrier. You feel it. People talk about the glass ceiling, all of those things, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be in denial of the obstacles, whatever it is, gender, this, race, whatever those obstacles are, right? Part of life is that there are conditions that may favor you or not. But the most important thing is the story that you come up with, right? The story that you come up with based on what you're experiencing in life ultimately is what is most important. If you say those obstacles will not let you move forward, that because of those obstacles, you're deciding to stay where you are, then you came up with that story. Okay? But if you want to make progress, then you actually have to come up with another story. I always say you are your own hero. You're your own hero, okay? We are to rescue our hopes, dreams, and aspiration. Okay, let us sink in. Okay? And I want to welcome those joining. I see Biniki, that's just Nettie. I see Talisha, Darren, Peter, Safiri, Byron, Uchechukwu. Welcome to the space. Come up to the stage. My spaces are always more dynamic because I don't just want to talk. I want to engage. I want to listen to your thoughts, how you're processing what I'm sharing. If anything that I'm saying and sharing resonates with you, because at the end of the day, most of this thing needs to be personalized. So I'm not just trying to create content. We're in the world where everybody tells you create content. No. I'm trying to impact lives. Okay? Because if it's just to create a content, I can easily record a video and put it on YouTube and walk away. Which by the way, I have a massive, library of content. I also have a TV show. I host events. Listen, I have my academy. But the reason I host engagements like this is what I'm realizing is that you can consume content and they will make you feel good. However, if you don't engage in personalizing that content, and if you don't allow that content to shift the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act, behavior, then honestly, I always say there's useful content, there's useless content. because the reason I say that, for those who are not used to my work, I always say that the human mind is a digestive system. It eats information and knowledge, right? And it's just like the natural digestive system for food. When you eat good food, that system will still determine what's useful and useless. It has a filter. There's a filter, okay? It will extract what is useful, and it has a filter to wash away useless, okay? So there is useful and useless information. And so the human mind, every time you're sleeping, it's trying to filter. The human mind, and this is scientific, right? Everything you consume in the day, everything you expose your mind to, everything you experience, the mind is trying to come up with a story and arrive at a conclusion. And the better, when you are sleeping at night, it tries to file everything you consume. So if you keep consuming what I call junk instead of nutritious knowledge, and what I call nutritious information that gives you direction, that are instructional and directional, right? And they motivate you into taking action to get results. That's useful information. Anything that just makes you feel good, oh, you can build $1 million business, yay! And you walk away, you wake up the next day, you still don't know how to do it. Oh, you can go to the moon, yay! You sleep at night, your brain is like, but you didn't tell us how to do it. So many people are consuming content that makes them feel good, but not the content that shows them the way and the steps they have to take. So social media content primarily runs on, exciting things that look good and makes you feel good. That's also part of self-sabotage. If you primarily consume things that only make you feel good, that doesn't put you to work, that doesn't challenge your thinking, that doesn't shift your behavior, listen, you will still create the same reality for your life. Nothing will change. I want to welcome Byron to the stage on LinkedIn. Welcome. Please introduce yourself and then share your thoughts. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Byron. I'm stuck on that content because it said that when you said that the things that you take in during the day, our life experiences, the challenges we have, that is all content. And most of us, matter of fact, all of us, that content can be used to share with the world that can make this a better place to live. That's all I had to say.
Oh, yes, absolutely. However, just to tag on a thought, what I have found is that the content that is most powerful and impactful, they've been synthesized. And I'll explain what I mean. Okay? If you're trying to feed a child, a child that is a baby that doesn't know how to digest, heavy stuff, the parents, the mom, will break down and you have to bring the information to a digestible form that will provide nutrition. Because I deal at the highest levels, government, policies, all of those things. What I have found, the reason I'm here on social media, is that many of the things government, high profile, I served as a strategy for Fortune 1, I serve on the board of listen, I'm there. What I have found is that on the streets, grassroots level, everyday common life, people do not understand. They cannot comprehend mostly what those things mean to their own personalization. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I had the second in command, second to the overall head of the U.S. Small Business Administration on my show. She reports directly to the chief administrator, the overall head in DC. She was on my show sharing really how the USSBA, Office of International Trade, for example, supports small businesses to expand internationally. And we went through all of these things. A week after, our office announced, that they had released $20 million to support small businesses in specific tasks if you want to export. But do you know what? That information passes over most people's head because generally speaking, the way governments release information, you almost have to synthesize, you almost have to take it in, synthesize it, digest it, and then teach people step by step. So for example, the whole announcement pretty much just means that, as example, one of the things covered is, say, if you're going internationally, you're traveling international for a business-related, sales-related travel, you can actually right? Get paid at least 80 to 90, I don't know exactly percentage depending on the state you're in. You can be reimbursed for a business export trip internationally if you can prove it and show it to your state. That's synthesizing and breaking this giant big announcement that, oh, government is this. Oh my gosh. Yesterday again, there was one of the government events put out there on LinkedIn, available to everybody. They put their headline. When I attended, there were about only 8 people that attended. Guys, 8 people attended the government event, SBA event. 8. What it means is that not every information out there is digestible, or people cannot comprehend a lot of this big narrative. And many of these things you cannot, if you don't understand, if you don't comprehend, if you don't understand the technical lingo used in a lot of these big announcements, right? If they say, oh, grant and this, most of the time is more an average person will not personalize it, will not know that they are actually speaking to me, that this is something I can use to grow my business, that I actually fit in to what the government is talking about. So when I say synthesized information that is in a digestible form, someone like myself, because I'm skilled, my first degree is mathematics. So if you're a statistician, a mathematician, an economist, right? You actually have this skill that I'm talking about. If you're a futurist, if you are trained, okay, and an average person doesn't have this training, and I'll tell you what is going on. This is another level of self-sabotage. We are trained to consume massive amounts of information, process it, digest it, synthesize it, and come up with what it means to a regular person or our stakeholders. It's a training. However, most people in the world, if you attempt to consume the level of content people are consuming today, do you know what happens? It chokes them. More people are confused today than ever before because they've eaten all kinds, they've gone everywhere, all platforms, they keep taking, and now content consumption is now an addiction. It's an addiction. You know why it's an addiction? That feel good, we all are craving it now. But what's going on is that this content is not showing you the way. It's not challenging people to change thinking. It's not teaching new principles in a way that people can actually transform. The other thing that is happening is that our mind, for you to train yourself and educate yourself, 15 seconds of this, 30 seconds of this will not train your mind. It won't. Your mind actually has to be calm, undistracted, focused, and open to learning. Like this session now. This session will drive more impact than 10 hours scrolling through social media. This session will be more memorable, will be stored, will give back to more impact than 10 hours scrolling through, eating here, a little, because our mind has to be open for an extended period of time for it to learn a new principle. The art of learning, the art of education focus is required, because learning is not easy. There's a pain associated to being shifted. For you to learn, unlearn, relearn, actually you have to pause. So on social media, we are consuming, and listen, it's making us feel good. We feel smart, we feel brilliant, we feel intelligent, we have massive, listen, our mind is filled with stuff, but they are not synthesized. They've not been processed. Because even if you practice journaling before you sleep at night, this is something you can do for yourself. Before you sleep at night, give your mind instruction. Just take 5, 10, 15 minutes. Just to pause. Take a pen, take a paper. And then evaluate what important things happened in your day. And just note. In fact, if you can plan the next day, the previous night, listen, you will achieve more progress than people who just sleep and leave it up to the mind to come up with its own story. It is our responsibility to train our mind to perform the jobs that we want to perform. Actually, your mind is a gift to you. We are responsible for what we feed it, just like you're responsible for the food you eat. Literally. Listen, if you keep eating junk food, listen, the outcomes eventually they will catch up. If your mind, you keep eating all kinds of crappy stuff, exposing yourself, listen, there's toxic knowledge, toxic information that leads to a lot of toxicity. So those who want to achieve progress, this is part of self-sabotage. They don't know. There's no awareness around. Listen, you ought to be seeking out good information. This is actually where investment. I say confusion is free. Clarity is expensive. If you want to be confused, please just stay on social media and be consuming everything you see and be liking and sharing everything. You will realize that a year will go by, 2 years will go by, 3 years you go by. The business you're supposed to start, you did not start. The journey you're supposed to go on, you didn't go. And you keep pushing it out, 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 pushing it out. 5 years are gone. All you have to say is, and I knew I need to start that business. And now you see somebody else that took action. You'll be, I had that idea. That business was supposed to be yours. Actually, you're right. Actually, you're right. So I say confusion is free. Clarity, listen, is expensive. Seeking clarity for the journey you want to go on is what is actually most expensive in the world. It's not available to everybody. Step-by-step instruction. See, I'm here in Chicago, if I want to go to California, and I say, let me just embark on that journey, it will be a foolish journey if I refuse to collect roadmap. You know? If I refuse to interrogate previous knowledge and say, who has gone before? How did they get there? Because the human mind is an incredible machine that if you feed it instruction, manual, right? And if you give it direction, it will lead you to your destination. I'm telling you. That's how this thing works. You go online, you print Google Maps, and the map tells you turn right, take a few steps. After 1 mile, turn left. And then after this, stop. And then do this. If you follow those step by step, clarity, right? Because the direction is clear. The instruction is clear. The mind can read it. The mind can read instruction. The mind can read information and follow direction. And so it's just a matter of time you will arrive. But if you attempt the same journey without instruction, without direction, the question is, when would you arrive? And then also you fail to ask people, right? This is the other thing. I've written about this before. Why people do not ask questions, right? I always say, if you're a tourist in a new city, you better ask people who know that city. Ask them they will show you the way. But if you refuse to ask questions, people talk about imposter syndrome. I usually say imposter syndrome is showing you that you are in a new space that has yet to be mapped in your mind. Your mind does not know how to move around in that new space. So actually, you need to feed your mind a lot of information. And the way you feed your mind a lot of information to become more familiar is you ask questions. Where is the meat market? Where is the grocery store? Where can I buy gas? Where you need to... And the more questions you ask, and the more answers you receive, your mind takes over and it maps. Now your mind can lead you without any red flags, without creating anxiety within you. Because anxiety rises, it's the fear of the unknown, right? So part of lowering anxiety is specific actions. Remember I talked about how we think, how we feel, and then the behavior, what we're doing, the actions we're taking. If you don't disrupt those 3 things, you will create the same reality. Patterns. Okay, I see. Oh, someone was, okay, video. Is there a video request? Let me bring you on. Okay, let's bring you on. Let me see. Accept. Go live. Hey, I see you all. Thank you. I see familiar faces. Yeah, Miss Minister Risi, let's see if I can bring you on and you join this discussion, okay? I've accepted your request. I think I did that. Okay. Let me know if you need to say, if I didn't do the right thing, please just let me know. Okay. And thank you again, everyone, for spending this time with me. I hope, you know, that, you are enjoying it, and not just enjoying it, but you are taking notes, because at the end of the day, like I shared, I could have just gone recorded a video, which I do, by the way, and just released it out there. But this is a different, I love the engagement. So I want people to speak, to share their thoughts as well. So you can lower anxiety by taking greater action. You can lower anxiety by being present and activating the power of now. Yesterday, I went deeper into the concept of today, not tomorrow. Today requires us to take action, right? That lays the foundation for tomorrow. Tomorrow would look different. You will experience a different tomorrow based on the action you take today. And if you don't take today's actions today, literally tomorrow, you have to take today's action tomorrow, and then it compounds. Some people now, listen, 5 years of to do is waiting for you. The action you ought to have taken 5 years ago, register your LLC. You were supposed to have registered LLC 5 years ago, and you said, tomorrow, 5 years has gone. What it means is that the cumulative progress you ought to have made in 5 years, now you've just shifted it forward. Because if you're laying a foundation, it starts with the first brick. And if you refuse to lay the first brick, there's not, you can't move forward from there, right? If you fail at laying the first brick, or you lay 2 bricks and you walk away and you give up, a lot of times in the world of business, by the way, those who are new to entrepreneurship, and I've covered this in one of my books before, is that you lay 5 bricks or 2 bricks and you realize the pain, the discomfort, the work required to lay it, and you're like, no, I didn't sign up for this. And then people walk away, right? And that's why I said content is addictive. It has become more addictive because it's pleasurable. Content is pleasure, and nothing wrong with pleasure. I mean, in the old world, you go to work, morning till 4, 5, and then you come home and you watch Oprah, you do all kinds of things, you relax in the evening, you spend time with the family, you play games, you do all those things, you go to bed, you sleep, and then to the next day, you wake up and you start all over again. Today, listen, we pleasure ourselves when we wake up with our phone. In the noontime, we do it again. 24/7. Content is acceptable. Anytime you want that dose of feel good. What are other people doing with their life? What else is going on? We're watching movie of other people's life constantly. And this is the time. And this thing is stealing time from what you ought to be investing in, building your own life. That's what we don't know. It's part of self-sabotage. Is that if you're giving 5 hours every day, watching other people's lives, and most of the content is not even showing you how to do the same or better for yourself, a year goes by, we know what everybody out in the world, Beyonce, everybody, what their life looks like, and then we say, wow, my life could be better. That's another anxiety. The worst case is depression. You've invested all hours looking at what other people are doing, and this is this very hours that your life ought to be invested in your own future. And this thing doesn't show its face immediately. What happens is a year, 2 years of this pattern of behavior, suddenly, the next time you look at them flying their plane, private jet on the beach, suddenly something grips you. You look at your life and you go, you don't like this. Guys, this stuff is serious. I warned you guys at the beginning that this is hot topic. It's a hot topic. So let me bring it down. Let me bring it down a notch. Byron, do you want to say something before I want to tone it down a little bit? I want to bring it down, just make it easy on people, because sometimes people are not used to this type of direct communication. But anyway, Mr. Byron, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Yes, I'll help you to bring it down with some encouraging words. For some reason, my mind is still stuck on when you said social media makes you feel good, and it also causes confusion because. And then I'm going back to where you said when people are saying other people's lifestyles, like Beyonce and all other different people. Well, that's the confusion they're getting. Then when you tell them what's really going on in the world, that's interrupting their sense of pleasure, and you mentioned that word as well, then they become afraid. That's why we only had 8 people in that meeting yesterday. People don't want to hear the truth.
Oh my, I thought you said you were bringing it up a notch. You just dialed it. You know what's going on? When we know the truth, now we have to take responsibility. It's actually better. If you don't want to take responsibility, lies are better. We seek lies. We want people who make us feel good, who tell us our life is not. Okay, connect. I hope I've connected back. Yeah, I'm okay. Hang on, guys. Can you still see me? Okay. So I have the video also going on here. And so what you just shared is so important, because what I've realized is that we have to know building a successful life. Listen, it's not easy. What I've also seen, even particularly in one of my fields, so I have multiple programs that I offer my clients and students. I train entrepreneurs as well. What I've seen in the entrepreneur, let me just give an example, in the entrepreneurship ecosystem, business development ecosystem. New entrepreneurs, okay, want to believe it's easy, and those who tell them it's easy, they invest in solutions that promises easy, and then a few months later they realize it was a lie. It didn't give them any results. But guess what? They are listening to exactly what they want to believe, and they are paying good money to people who say, oh, just jump a little bit, just spin around a little bit, just download this paper, just do this, just do that, just do it. I know it's Nike saying, but trust me, there's nothing that just anything in business. There's not just anything. You don't just your way to success. Okay, you don't just anything to success. Those who have built multi-billion dollar business, there's no just anything. And this is one of the things I say. Someone ought to tell you you're about to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Instead, they tell you, let's go on a stroll down the street. People promise that by taking or going 1 mile with me, you will arrive at a destination of a successful business. And so those who want to believe that story will invest in that story until they realize they just ended at there's a dead end. Now they are locked in. So that's also something that's happening on social media. We are consuming what we want to believe. It's a make. Remember Hollywood, right? Social media is Hollywood extended. We are all producing movies that we're all producing stories and content that everybody's drinking. And so Hollywood perfected this make believe. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, all these amazing things. And so I say, listen, if you watch Arnold, right, and you want to do what he's able to do, you have to go to the same gym that he's going. But if Arnold tells you, don't worry, just lift 1 pound and you will grow muscles like mine, which is what people are selling on social media. You see Arnold with his big muscles, and yet he's telling you, you only have to spend 10 minutes or 20 minutes in a gym every day, that you should just buy this and then buy. Listen, he didn't say that. I'm just using that as an analogy of what you're seeing on social media. Someone that I spent 10 years to figure out how to make money online will suddenly appear on Instagram and tell you all you need to do is to download whatever he's selling. And suddenly he will teach you everything he has learned in the last 10 years. He will teach you in 5 minutes. And you too, you give him your money. Let me break this thing down for you. While I can transfer knowledge, I cannot transfer my skill. Skill develops. You have to develop your own skill, and your own skill, you must give it time, repetition, and practice. And this is where failure is. People can transfer knowledge. You can consume YouTube University all you want. The only way you are able to generate results is you actually have to develop your own skill. You see, I can tell you all these things, but if you don't put it into practice in your own life, you will not see what I'm saying. So there is lack of awareness also, which leads to self-sabotage. People have concluded that just by consuming content, they will achieve results. No, it's a lie. It's a big lie, because they are not telling you the systems, they are not telling you the processes, they are not telling you even the pain of learning, the pain required to improve on skill. Nobody sells that. It doesn't sell on social media. If a master fisherman shows you the ropes on how to fish, and you refuse to show up every day and practice that skill, listen, you are still not a master. You can have the knowledge. You can read 1,000 books on how to fish and even know how to practice and put it together. But I'm telling you, you cannot achieve the results of a master simply because experience takes time. Experience takes time. You cannot microwave experience. ChatGPT can answer all the questions for you. But I tell you, ChatGPT cannot train you if you don't train yourself. You can consume 1,000 books on how to lose weight, and we all know what we ought to do. Sleep more, eat less, move more, exercise more, and you will get the result. But guess what? That knowledge doesn't give everybody results. The only people that see results are the ones who show up to do what they know they have to do. Right? The only people that would actually lose weight, people who just know knowledge and do not take action. Listen, you're not going to lose 1 pound. You can even go to school. You know, have you seen the doctors that will prescribe you, but they themselves, they're suffering? You know what that means? They can give you information, knowledge on how you can fix your life, but they've not disciplined themselves. Right? Have you seen the doctor that smokes and will tell you not to smoke? So knowledge of what stuff is not enough. It's the beginning. So content is not enough. Content is not enough. That's why in my school, I teach differently. I teach practical workbooks, assignments. The reason is because I will take time out to teach, and then I will challenge my student and say, listen, you see, I've transferred knowledge, but this skill that I use to do what I do for my business was developed over years. And now I want to challenge you to invest the time, energy, and focus to work your own out. You have to. Right? That's why I always talk about sales professionalism, business professionalism. I always say, stop being an amateur. Discipline yourself. Okay? Show up every day. Listen, this is what creates winners and champions in the world. If I give you a basketball and you throw it once or 5 times, and you say, now I know how to now I know how to play basketball, listen, that's fine. You're still an amateur, a beginner. LeBron James will beat you hands and feet because he has done it thousands of times, right? He has disciplined himself. He has spent more hours perfecting that skill. You've only done it 5 times. So knowledge is not enough. In fact, attempts at practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's not enough. The discipline of professionalism, of sales, of business, of success is you show up every day to train yourself. Because once you become a master, there's no stopping you. You become unstoppable. But on social media, you know, people consume content thinking content will take them from where they are to where they need to be. No, action, perfect action. Right? I always, even yesterday, I laid the foundation on what I mean about strategy. Being more strategic in life is that The quality of a strategy is based on the knowledge, capacity, skill, experience of those who put the strategy together and the people who execute it. So a perfect strategy in the hands of a novice will not get results. So planning is important, execution is important as well. Okay, so these are powerful, life-changing principles, right? Because again, self-sabotage in the world of digital today, one of the biggest that I see is that people are staying online perpetually, consuming free, feel good content that is not giving them instruction and direction and is not holding them accountable or challenging them to take actions that will get them the results they want. So people are stuck at feel good. One thing I also thought about, was it late last week? And I'll share it. There are several things. I'll hold more sessions publicly on these things. But last week, I was teaching about different types of content, the value of content. And I was breaking it down that not all content hold equal value for you. And I was also sharing two sides of this. As content consumer or content creator, what I'm about to share is important on both sides. Whether you're consuming content, we all are consumers, but this awareness will rescue you. And if you're also a business owner that you use content to connect with your community, to invite people to participate in your programs, on and on, what I'm about to share with you as well will help you achieve more success. So, because again, self-sabotage is important, is the number one issue that I see out there. But what's also going on is that we don't know the different types of content and the impact and result they can get us. So for example, there's inspirational content, there's educational content, there's motivational content, there's also things that challenge, information that challenges us, and then there's transformational content. Okay, so again, let me run through it and then I'll explain each of them. Inspirational content, educational content, okay, motivational content, right? Challenging content, and then transformational. The lowest one is inspiration, and this is what I would say maybe 90 or more % of whatever you're going to see on social media is going to fall into this category. Inspiration. Things that inspire us, touches our hearts and makes us believe. Okay? Things that inspire us. You can be this, you can be that, you can be this, right? It talks about your hopes, dreams, and aspiration and makes you feel like you can give birth to it for yourself, right? We need that. Guys, by the way, we need inspiration. I need inspiration. You need inspire. I need to be inspired into what's possible for me, right? And part of it, what drives inspiration is when you see how other people are living their lives, when you see what other people are achieving, when you see what's possible for other people. As humans, we gain inspiration. Listen, if I take you to Silicon Valley, and you spend 2-3 months in Silicon Valley, you'll be inspired to start your own technology business. If I move you to New York, financial district, and you spend 2 months there, and you're surrounded by people that are saying money, 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 Wall Street, right? And that's all you saturate your environment with. Listen, it's just a matter of time. You two will jump into, oh, I'm a financial this, I'm a financial that. Okay? That is how we are as you, like we soak in our environment and it inspires us into who and what is possible. That's primarily a lot of the things going on social media. Inspiration, the pictures that we are presented, the images that we see, the sounds, the music, the movies, it make us feel good. It make us believe it again. Now, there's an opposite side to negative news. Or I'm not going there. I'm not even going to touch that side. That one is pure toxicity. Okay. But there's positive information that if you go to church and somebody speaks into your spirit, you will jump. The baby in you will jump up. You get my point? There are certain things that you're going to see physically that in your soul, you go, I want that. I wish that was mine, right? That's fantastic. We all want to be inspired. We vote for people who inspire us. If a president campaigning, his job is to inspire the people to vote for him, make them feel good. present to them a destination he wants to take them on, and they have to believe in him. And if they believe in him, they will vote for him. So we tend to vote for the people who inspire something in us. Okay? We tend to promote those who we believe that will do ABCD. We tend to follow on social media. You tend to follow those who have something inspiring that aligns to the future you desire. You will follow them. You will listen to it. Whether it's music, right? Beyonce music, Jay-Z music, whoever makes you feel good, makes you dance, make your soul feel good. You will follow them. You will give them your money. You will move closer to it. Inspiration is fantastic, but trust me, if that's all you're consuming, you'll be having the highs and the lows, the highs and the lows. And inspirational message is addictive because it will take you to the moon. Woo! You believe, and then when you close your phone, you come back to real life. And then you open your phone again, woo! Right? That's what we are seeking. That's why I say it's addictive. Every time you open your phone, you have the high. Every time you close your phone and you are now dealing with your current real life, you have the low. You open it again, it gives you dopamine. You close it, now you feel disconnected. When you're not on social media, you feel disconnected because your real life is not as exciting or inspirational. Now, this is the work we have to do. Your real life ought to be more inspirational than virtual life. Like your loved ones, your kids, your loved one, your wife, your husband, the people that you can touch and feel and argue. That's where we ought to be drawing inspiration from. But because now we are disconnected, social media is disconnecting us from real. Now, the things that make humans thrive, touch, feel, real life, we are now seeking it online. This awareness is powerful. The second thing, though, because inspiration doesn't show you the way. It makes you feel and believe, and we need that. But nothing changes if all you're consuming is inspiration. If the people you're following always continue to speak to you, challenge you, they will keep feeding you energy. But that's not enough for success. The second level, the second layer, you need to add to inspiration education. If there's anything you want to achieve that you've never done before, you actually need to seek out information and content. When I say content, it could come in different form. We are using the language, I'm using content loosely now. You actually ought to seek out instruction, direction, and some form of leadership. So as an example, it's not enough to be inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie. The day you say you want to have muscles like him, not just enjoy him, but you now say, I want to achieve what this person has achieved. Now you have to go in search of how to achieve it. So the day you see someone you're following and you see them building multi-million-dollar business, they inspire you. But trust me, they're inspiring you doesn't mean they are showing you or educating you. Education is when we seek out direction, instructions, how to step by step become or achieve or attain or arrive the direction. And trust me, that's what you're not going to see on social media, because the richness of education changes lives. If I teach you step by step how to build a business, you will do it because the human mind is that incredible. The moment you feed it instruction, direction, anybody can do it. Because once somebody cracks the code, once Elon Musk goes to the moon, his intellectual capital is to be protected. If he doesn't protect it, listen, anybody can copy and repeat, because the thing about life is everything that is predictable, right? Repeatable. That means once you release it to the world, many people will create the same reality. So you realize that intellectual capital is under lock and key. You can stay on social media for 10 years. And I'm telling you, unless you invest into somebody's intellectual capital of how they did ABCD, step by step, over a period of time, most people will not achieve it. So I know that many people still say, oh, the beautiful thing is that social media today has drawn people like myself. We are here. But I'm also telling you, the 300 resources in my academy is never coming on social media. Those who want to learn, it's a learning platform that has how to step by step build a world class. And it's never going to be released, right? So you realize that those who have intellectual knowledge around life-changing financial results will continue to show you inspiration. We will inspire you to come and invest. We will show you what's possible. We'll enlighten you about what's possible. That's what social media is being done. Clips, that's why they say clips, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Bite-sized information. Our mind needs meat. Our minds need direction for it to be trained to perform a task. And so for those who question, right? Oh, that content, why do I have to pay for it? I'm giving it now that not all content is the same. The content that shows you how to perform a task step by step, that if you follow that task, okay, you arrive and get the results. That type of content is what every penny for you to pay. You know why? You can go in search of that same knowledge, the knowledge that you will get, that you say, oh no, I'm not going to pay for it. You can actually go in search of that knowledge for a year and still not uncover it. Fact. Because those who say I will DIY my way to success because I don't want to pay an expert, I don't want anybody to teach me, that's okay. You can search. In fact, go to Google, or not even Google, YouTube, search for how to close deals, how to negotiate and close maybe multi-million-dollar deals. Go and search it. Because when we want to land in terms of success, the most successful people in the world, this is the peak, this is the most important skill that wealth builders have. Ability to close, sell, negotiate. Those are the 3 core wealth building skills. And those 3 skills, it's not readily showing you how to be a master. I'm not saying mid-level, I'm saying mastery level. Those who build multi-million-dollar businesses, those are the 3 main things they use. Communication is at the foundation, but sales, ability to close, and ability to negotiate your value. That's the height of skill. Everything else you're going to see online is at the entry level. I'm just creating awareness. So first you have inspiration. Next you have education. Education is a premium, step by step. And education allows you to arrive and achieve specific tasks faster. Faster, speed. If a master fisherman spends time to show you, right, to give you the instructions, manual, right, and direction on how to do ABCD, you're going to do it faster than if I gave you all the tools and I say, figure this out yourself, right? Which is what most people want to do. You have the tools, you have the cell phone, you have social media, figure out how to use it. The third aspect is motivational information. Motivational. As humans, we need motivation. Motivation is different from inspiration. And the main difference that I say is that inspiration makes you feel good, okay? But motivation, right? It's almost like a drug. It's about endurance, enduring the pain. It tells you, right? It puts in front of you a prize, right? And tells you it's worth the pain because you want to be a champion. This is what, Olympians do, sports. Those who are in the elite of business or anything, they know that they have to motivate themselves to do the painful things that is required to get the win. Okay? So it's not just that I give you education. People know how to lose weight, but if they are not motivated to lose weight, they will not go through the pain and the endurance required to lose weight. That's the difference between motivation and inspiration. You can be inspired and start that journey, but only motivation keeps you running your race, right? Motivation is why you are running a marathon, your body is in pain, you are tired, you're about to give up. You see that clap? Keep going, keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. You can do it. You can do it. Keep go, 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 go. I believe in you. Go, go. That is motivation. That's motivation. Inspiration will not do that for you. Because if you're not taking action, you don't need motivation. Only people who are taking action need motivation. Inspiration, you can be sitting on your couch and be inspired to lose weight. But the day you go to the gym and you are sweating and you are trying, then you need a coach to be saying, you can do it, I believe in you. You can do it, I believe in you. Don't give up. Think about your children. Think about the dress size. Think about the future. Just keep going. And then you go, okay. And you want to give up and somebody says, no, you can't give up. You can't. That is motivation. Motivation is for people who need endurance for the pain of the struggle of success. And if you're not taking action, motivation means nothing to you. And so you pay a coach to keep you motivated. Because the day you start that business, there will be a day you say, listen, why is this stuff? That's the day you need to go and dial your coach and say, coach, this is how I'm feeling today. I remember one of my students, she emailed me and she was like, I'm done. And I said, go and sleep. I said, go and sleep. You're just tired. And then the very next week, she came up with, yes, I have a new idea. I'm reinventing my business. All she needed then was rest. That's what a coach will do for you. Only people who are taking action requires that level of motivation that says, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Guess what? Those who are not taking action on social media, listen, they don't know the value of a coach because you are inspired, but you've not attempted it, and so you don't know how painful or the endurance you need. So coaching, the coaching industry, those who do it right, I'm not speaking for all coaches, okay? I'm speaking for me and what I do for my students at toyinumesibi.academy. Really, it's about those who have dreams of building a world-class business. You're going to need education, you're going to need motivation. And then what you're also going to need is the fourth one, when I say challenge. Okay. Challenge is when we're not just motivating you, we're not just educating you, we're not just inspiring you, but we are giving you to attempt to complete a task within specific time frame. That's what we do when we have a game. You know, those in sports, whether it's soccer, whether it's basketball, the game has a start and end time. It's a challenge to win during a period. Just because you can play basketball anytime, right? Just because you can do this thing anytime. Again, a challenge is saying on a particular day, can you show up? Can you show up to win under specific terms? So it's kind of like a stress, an artificial stress period that we create to intensify endurance and to challenge people to give their best at a particular time. Because if you don't challenge people, this is what happens. Now you have inspiration, now you have education, now you have motivation. But guess what? Procrastination sets in. You say, I'll do it when I'm ready. I'll do it when I'm ready. Tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. When you offer challenge programs, guess what? You bring tomorrow into now. You say, I know you know how to do this. I know you're committed to doing it. But you know what? Part of discipline is showing up and pushing yourself really, really hard for this period of time to get results. Action. And then transformation, the third type of content that creates transformation is one that when you expose yourself to it over a period of time, you become a different person. You become a new person. Usually it's a process. This is transformation and metamorphosis is what ultimately leads us. And this is why many people say, you know, be consistent. Consistency is the only thing that gives birth to transformation. Right? Because you can finish a challenge and then go back and sit down. But those who win will continue to train every single day. You remember the story about Michael Phelps. Those who go into the Olympics, they spend years practicing for a 1 minute run or a 30-second sprint. Consistency transforms us to show up to win when it is time to win. And so many people do not win because they are hoping they win. They're not practicing to win. So I'm going to stop right there and end today's session. I shared a whole lot. There's still so much more to share. But what I'm trying to do is create awareness that the biggest thing I have seen in the world is how thinking, behavior, emotion, people use it to literally stop themselves from achieving everything. And hopefully this awareness, right, if you can share it and spread this gospel of, listen, inspirational content on social media, if you keep consuming it, and you are open, all of a sudden you are winning without taking any action. Because this is what leads to hopelessness. You've been exposed to a sense of possibility for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you still look around you and your life doesn't look like what you're hoping for, because nobody has broken this news that you are responsible for creating every inch of reality you want. None of the people on social media, not even me, is responsible for anybody. But that's why in my school, once people enroll in my school, the game starts. That's why I was telling, like, I need to just, because the game starts, meaning my voice changes, because I have to challenge, I have to motivate, I have to inspire, I have to educate, right? Because when people show up into my school, in a way I'm invested, because they've invested, I'm invested in their future. And so there's a certain voice and a certain responsibility in a way that I take on to ensure that we're there to help them guarantee success. Because they invest, I invest. That's it. That's it. Because success is not something people carry anybody on. Those who attempt and desire and long for it and are ready to take the action, it becomes easier for people like myself to support with resources, knowledge, education, motivation, challenge, inspiration. And we're rooting for you and clapping for you. And when you now come, and this is the joy of it, when my clients now come and say, Tony, I got this, I got this contract, I got this, then I say, listen, I share in the success. Right? If you see anybody who coaches a winner, you know, Tiger Woods coach, listen, he's happy. LeBron James coach, they're happy. Why? Because they contributed. They were there for them. But imagine if LeBron James doesn't show up for himself. No coach is listen, this journey of success is different. Those who want to go all in, all out, there's a certain level of investment they have to make than people who sit on social media, fold their hands. And social media is like a Netflix. They just change channels. Ping, ping, ping. If you don't like what you're watching, just tune in, tune out, tune in, tune. And that's why on all platforms, you can see people coming, go out. And that's the freedom and liberty we all have. The moment I say something you don't like, please, people tune out. Let's just create this awareness of what's happening to us. Is that we are being trained and conditioned, right? To just be flick, you know, just to be tuned to what we like and what appeals to us. And so we are being influenced and directed through life based on pleasure. And we are asking people to pleasure us and make us feel good. And so that's social media. And I say, listen, if that's all you're looking for in the world, you are so far away from reality that there is pain and endurance and grit in going all out, climbing the 3 ladders of success: influence, power, and wealth. You want to get to the top. You want to be a winner. You want to be a champion in any field of life, including business, whether it's creative industry, movie industry, music industry, sports, any area of life. The day you say to yourself, you want to be seen at a world-class level, pleasure is something that you give. A cup of ice cream. The day you say you want to lose weight, right? Ice cream will be once in 6 months. But if you are not losing weight, you can eat it every night. You can consume content every night. It doesn't matter. But the day you say, I want to achieve, that means you have to stop sabotaging yourself. Because taking ice cream every night is counterproductive. It will not get you the result you said you are trying to commit to. If you say you want to lose weight, that means you must change behavior. And so those who do not want to change behavior, will they ever achieve it? They won't. Because your commitment challenges you to change. The day you commit to be somebody else that you are not today, that means you are deciding and agreeing to disrupt your patterns, your current patterns. And so anyone that doesn't want to disrupt who they are today and they feel good and they're saying, Toyin, don't challenge me. Toyin, don't educate me. Toyin, don't do this. I'm fine. And guess what? You leave them alone. You leave them alone. Because the day if somebody told you I want to lose weight and then you go to them and say, get up from the couch, guess what will happen? If they haven't paid you to be their coach, they will insult you. They will feel insulted and they will insult you. Right? I'm just saying out. So for those of us who are coaches, I am very careful what I bring to social media. Because if I say get up, most people will be like, why is she talking to me that way? But those who have paid me to coach them, they will get up. Because that's the commitment, right? That they have a commitment, and the relationship allows us to challenge people and hold people accountable. But on social media, no, that's not nobody. So I'll quietly hold spaces like this. Those who do not like what I'm saying, that's okay. Because there's a certain voice, there's a certain push, there's a certain energy that has to motivate people to action. And most people who do not want to take action, it becomes annoyance. I mean, if I'm watching Netflix and I'm enjoying my life and I have my bowl of ice cream and you tell me, wake up, let's go and jog, let's go to the gym, and you did not ask me to remind you to go to the gym, you won't like that. So that's what's happening. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're a content owner or content creator and you're also a coach, be aware what's going on. I don't know how we're going to solve this. But anyway, the message has to go around that if you still want to, because new generations are coming on social media and they've never been mentored. I hope you realize it. This is one of the struggles you see Generation Z, they are facing in the workplace. They were never mentored into the endurance, right? So they are mentored into pleasure. So those who want to be pleasured 100% of the time, when you put them through real life, that requires us to show up to the workplace, to do things that really we would rather not do, right? Guess what? It becomes pain. And so they cry and they whine and they say, ah! And they run away and they go on TikTok. I'm just being, I know I'm being dramatic there, but I'm just trying to create awareness that this is what's happening, is that if you raise a generation on pleasure, on Netflix, on 24 hours, 7 days a week exposure to stimulating content, the effect is that in a couple of years, nobody's going to want to work anymore. That's the final effect. We are not seeing it yet, but it's growing. It's growing. If you say people to show up, nobody wants to show up. If you say come and enroll, nobody wants to enroll, because listen, we'd rather be consuming content and feeling good, and that's it. So collectively as a society, we are creating a society that, listen, it's going to be more difficult to get people to build businesses, okay, to create platforms that's going to transform, right? Less and less people. The harvest is plenty, the laborers are few. Laborers are shrinking across industries today because people are ready to settle for the least because they don't want to do the most, okay? People are ready to settle for survival because they don't want to do the most to thrive, to achieve, right? Achieving success now is not attractive. It's not. Because nobody prepared anybody for the endurance, for the pain, for the tenacity required to create. People have forgotten what created Middle America. Right? It's another generation that created what we've been enjoying in the last 30 years. Another generation with a different mindset, with a different work ethic, created what we are enjoying today. And so, collectively, this generation, listen, if we don't shift, social media would destroy, in a way, the mindset of the next generation we are training into this way of pleasure, right? Literally, you can spend 12 hours, most of your time, just sitting and then just scrolling. particularly just TikToking, and then that's all we do. Now, on the creator side, if you can monetize it, then you are working, right? Because any creator, if you're on the creator side, if you're on the creative side, listen, you actually are already in the productive side that you ought to be. So it's about consumerism versus productivity. Because even to be a creator, listen, you work hard. So the creative side of social media will thrive, the consuming side will not. Right? Because the creative side, anytime you have to create content, anytime you have to unlock your thoughts, ideas, and do work and create things that other people enjoy, then you are in the right community. But the moment you are not contributing productively to anything, it's a tough one. So again, let me wrap it up. Unless Mr. Baron, do you want to give your parting words, and then I'll close it out? Alicia, Michael, Ukechuku, and others, thank you for joining. Wow, oh my, thank you everyone. So many my life spree. Listen, I recognize and appreciate you all. I know several people joined there. So yes, sir, go on.
I would like to say this was an amazing podcast, and I agree with you. There are so many people sabotaging themselves.
Yeah. You know, one of the things I'm working on now, I want to put an image together just to make it visual, what I'm saying right now, because, you know, there's a pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of need. There's actually a pyramid that the world is organized in such a way where at the base is everybody. And then I feel like the main barrier that keeps people from there to the next level is self-sabotage. And at the next level is mindset adjustment, it's personal development, okay, and it's energetics, where you put your time, energy, okay. And then if you want to go to the next level, you have to work on leadership and communication. And then those who work on leadership and communication, it's just a matter of time, you find yourself at the top. Because the moment you can lead yourself, right, mindset, personal development, time management, the moment you invest in those three things, you think about what you're thinking about, and you control what you're thinking about, because that's the entry point. Because the moment you shift your thinking and focus on the wrong things, your emotion follows. Energy in motion, your energy is directed by your thoughts, right? Your thoughts polarizes your energy positively, negatively, and it flows in the direction of focus. So if you focus on negativity, you've just polarized your energy. Energy is neutral, but applied, if you apply it to good things, the work you create will be positive. If you apply it to negative, you can punch somebody in the face like Will Smith does or did, right? You can use your energy to create good things, or you can use it to destroy. That's what creates wars. The same energy, nuclear energy that can power, right, can be used to destroy. So energy is neutral, but the thoughts, when you put it in the hands of people, their thoughts, their thinking can misdirect it or use it creatively or destructively. So energy today, when people use it to destroy themselves, that's self-sabotage. Consuming things you shouldn't consume, going to places you shouldn't go, on and on and on, right? But that same energy can be channeled and used to create and produce things that move us collectively as a society, right? So that's so powerful. Again, the responsibility we have to channel our life force into impacting the world positively. That's what we ought all to do. But it's painful. It's real. The day you decide to create anything, you actually have to subject your body and your mind to be in service, But the opposing thing is pleasure. You want other people to serve you. When all you're doing is serve me, it means you're consuming, you're not creating, you're not contributing, you're not leading, you're not guiding us to you're not leading the world. Because those who invest in the future, when we all arrive there, they will be the ones to own the future. And those who do not invest in the future, listen, you go in there, you'll be at the mercy. You'll be at the mercy of those who created, right? So creativity is tied to ownership, and it's connected to wealth building, wealth creation. And so if people don't create something they can own, they will own nothing. They will own nothing. In that future, if you don't invest in building an asset, if you don't use your time, energy, and resources to build an asset that you will own in the future, when you get into the future, you will not have anything in your hands to say, this is mine. And so think about it. We're using platforms that people have invested in creating: LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Instagram, all of these platforms. They built it, they own it. And so when we go into the future, they still own it. I know Clubhouse in the last, anyway, those who own things, they command more value in the marketplace. So this is connected. Part of self-sabotage is people who do not create anything and they want to own everything. No, they'll be at the mercy, right? Because you have no control. Ownership gives you control over destiny and outcomes, right? So we're supposed to be investing our time, energy, and resources to create the life we want, to own. And business, that's why when I teach business, right, it's one of those fundamental principles. So I want to invite you to join me in my academy, the Entrepreneurs Academy, toyinumesiwi.academy. Over 300 resources, really, that helps guide you if you want to achieve your dreams of owning a world-class business, of building and owning a world-class business. I serve as a strategist for Fortune 1, and I bring to you big business strategies, life-changing principles, really, to move you from where you are to where you need to be. And so even in my school, in addition to business training, sales training, I support my students with mindset coaching, personal development, and energetics, the spirituality, faith-based training, because ideas are deeply spiritual, right? Businesses are built on idea. In a way, you have to receive that idea and make it yours and commit to being the person that channels to creating the solution. And then that's what we get rewarded for financially. My book also is available on Amazon, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, Strategy, Skills, and Mindset for Achieving Business Growth and Success. So thank you so much for joining me. I would love your feedback. Let me know if this is how, what your thoughts are, what you've experienced, because I'm thinking of bringing more of this. I do have a TV show. One of my professional students said, Tori, while I love a lot of the TV show where you're hosting government, I always love the personal experience that we have, right? So I try to make myself, like this type of experience, because it's more, I love it. Let me just say. So I do have other platforms, TV show, working with the mayor's office of communications here. My show runs on TV. I have government people. So I have platforms for there. I host summits, ambassadors, all those things. But I'm telling you, when I come on the streets of social media, I'll keep coming, and I want to keep bringing incredible, right, conversations like this. It's really conversation for those who have an appetite for life-changing information, for those who are hungry for transformation and success, unstoppable success, unlimited success, right? Radical transformation, accelerated results. I show up for those people, right? Because everything you want is possible for you. But don't stop yourself. Don't stop yourself with your thinking, with your feeling, and with your behavior. There's so much help. There's so many people out here ready to help you, ready to guide you, ready to support you. There's so many people rooting for you. Listen, I'm rooting for you. I want you to win big time. There's so much room at the top. And so my school is also there to guide you step by step on how to build a world-class business. On that note, see you next time. Please reach out. Let me know. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Gochuku. Thank you, Talisha. Thank you, everyone. I'm waving to those on video. Thank you, sir, Mr. Byron. Thank you for sharing the stage. I always love to hear your voice. I bring my voice. I bring myself here. And trust me, the beauty is also, since we are not physically in the same place, your voice also contributing to this conversation helps other people as well. So thank you, Mr. Byron, for being here. God bless you all. So I'm going to close each of the platforms now. But do reach out. And then check out toyinumesiwi.academy. There's also a free community there. My TV show, I usually put it there, private community. There's also a chat space you can connect with other people around the world. Check that out as well. And then upgrade to the membership of the school. Okay? Bye. And I see one of my students. Be Nikki, good to see you. I'll see you around. Bye. Thank you. Okay, let me close this out. Closing the second one now. Instagram video. I know I messed up here on the. My battery was running out, so I quickly had to plug it. So you saw some movements there. Bye, guys.